This is the new Mavic Air 2. This is the Mavic 2 Pro, and that's the Mavic Mini. Okay, so I've been flying my DJI Spark for a couple of years now, and I think I'm ready to upgrade. But which DJI Mavic should I choose? Stick around. We're going to look at all three right now. We're going to check out the specs and to see which drone really is the best and which one I should get next. Maybe you too. Stick around.
Video, audio, camera, drones, tips and tricks. You're watching Tommy Drone Tech.
So in this video, I'm going to run down the specs of the new Mavic Air 2 and take a look at how it compares to the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic Mini. This new Air shoots JPEGs and RAWs with a 48 megapixel half-inch sized sensor, and the new sensor also makes possible 8K time-lapse video, 4K video at 60 frames a second, and slow-mo HD is also possible, up to 240 frames per second. That's some impressive slow-mo, and seriously, it outclasses the Mavic 2, which is limited to only 1080 at 120, but of course, it sells for twice the price, and the Mavic 2 Pro is limited to just 30 frames per second when shooting 4K. So what exactly is the Pro offering over the new Air now? We do have this larger 1-inch sensor on the Pro versus the half-inch on the Air. That means low-light photos and videos are likely going to be cleaner and higher quality when captured with the Pro. And you do have aperture control on this drone. So the Mavic Air 2 has a 48 megapixel half-inch sensor, and the Mavic 2 Pro has a 1-inch 20 megapixel sensor. But there are several new modes that might allow the new Air to make up for that sensor size difference. You've got a hyper light mode that's going to stack several photos for better low light quality. There's also an HDR mode and a new scene recognition mode that attempts to provide the best tweaks to the processing. That HDR mode is available for video too, and that's great, but it does limit the 4K to just 30 frames per second. And more carefully reading the fine print, I found the 8K timeless video is limited in some modes, and it's not going to work in all modes until June. The remote to this drone connection is now using OcuSync. This is DJI's proprietary connectivity system that, from what I found, it does provide a rock-solid connection over very long distances. And you can easily fly miles away and still get clear video feed and smooth control of the drone. Because this new Air uses OcuSync, it's also compatible with the smart controller. I mean, the new Air provides front and rear obstacle avoidances, which is a step down from the 360-degree obstacle avoidance system that the Pro has. But the obstacle avoidance system is upgraded and smarter than previous models, hopefully providing even a better chance of avoiding obstacles while flying. Now, DJI states the upgraded obstacle avoidance will maintain a smoother cinematic movement while avoiding obstacles that it sees in its processor. So it's going to calculate how it gets around, and it's going to create smooth flying, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this does. Now, there are lights on the bottom that help with landing in low light situation, and an additional item that's brand new to any other drone that I've seen is AirSense. It now has ADS-B, which warns you when aircraft are nearby. So a little extra peace of mind, although DJI says this is only going to be in the North American model at launch due to the COVID-19 supply chain issues going on. It also has an upgraded tracking system that's not on the level of a Skydio drone. In fact, even DJI says it's not, but it's improved over all the other current DJI drones. So when you combine this upgraded tracking system with the upgraded obstacle avoidance, I would anticipate the specs are going to be pretty darn good. So we have a solid camera upgrade that's going to be far better than some of the other more expensive Mavic drones, and this new Pro technology is going to keep you safer in the air. Some more important facts about the new Mavic 2 Air is it has 34 minutes of flight time. Now, that's without any wind and flying slowly, so in the real world, you're not going to see that long of a flight time number, but it's still impressive. It's also a 60% improvement over the original flight time. I mean, the top speed in the sport mode is 43 miles per hour. It's about the same as the original and just 4 miles slower than the Pro. You also get a switch on a new redesigned controller to flip between tripod mode, which is going to limit the speed for very slow, stable flights. And then you have your normal mode, which is what I like to use. And then there's sport mode that provides for the fastest speeds. And it's good for getting the drone into positions quickly or just having some fun. So longer flight time, obstacle avoidance, OcuSync, and a new redesigned controller. No longer do I have to deal with this stupid controller with the fact that I got to put my phone. You know, I never liked that I had to put my phone underneath the controller. I always liked my controller on top. Plus, with this design that DJI thinks is so great, it's nice. I mean, everybody copied it, right? But you got to take your case off of the phone before you can put it on. And I got a big phone. I'm a guy who likes to compensate. So I've got a large phone, okay? What can I do? So I got a large phone underneath my controller. I like it on top. Come to think of it. Anyway, so I'm really happy about this new change to the controller. I think it's a great idea. Now the remote does seem larger, but the drone is also a little bit larger too and heavier than the original. In fact, it's now 570 grams versus 430 from the originals. Now looking at the Mavic Mini, it weighs just 249 grams. I mean, that's barely more than any smartphone, but of course it doesn't shoot in 4K or raw photos or have any obstacle avoidance or tracking. So it's really winning on weight and price at just $399. You know, it doesn't, and it also doesn't require any FAA registration. Not that that's difficult or anything. But the new Mavic Air is $799 for the drone and remote, and $988 if you get the Fly More combo, which includes 3 batteries, multi-battery charger, and other goodies. It doesn't appear that this drone's going to charge via any USB, and that is another win and portability for the Mini. So to round out this comparison, the Pro weighs 907 grams and currently sells for $1,600, where the Air 2 is going to use the new DJI Fly app, not the DJI Go app, which is used for your older Air. Now the Mavic Mini is still a great drone, and personally it's my recommendation for anyone who's getting started who wants to get a good portable drone and not pay a lot of money. The Air 2, double the price, but it gives you a phenomenal experience in varied conditions with a very stable connection no matter where you fly. And of course, the Mavic 2 Pro is nice, but I wonder if the Mavic Air 2 might actually be better. I mean, unless you really need low light capabilities or any kind of aperture control, there isn't that much that the Pro offers over the Air. And if the Air doesn't meet your needs, you're probably just as good waiting for the Mavic 3 Pro, or maybe even looking at alternatives such as a strong tracking drone like the Skydio or the Autel Evo 2, which is going to be a drone that gives true 6K and 8K video. So there you go, guys. The new Mavic Air 2. OcuSync, better flight time, better controller. What's not to like? And of course, everything else it has to offer. I think I'm going to go with the Mavic Air 2, but what do you think? That's what I'm looking at this point. Should I get the DJI Mavic Pro 2, the Mavic Air 2, or the DJI Mavic Mini, or should I just stick with what I have and be happy and content? I know what some of you guys are thinking, Tommy, you shouldn't even be flying. Hey! They used to say that about you too, you know. I know some of you probably think that because of my previous videos, but I will beg to differ. I will return. Which drone do you think I should get? Comment and like below. Or do you think I shouldn't get a Mavic at all? Maybe I'm not that good of a pilot. Thanks for watching. I'm Tommy Drone. Please like and subscribe. I also have the direct links for all the drones below, so check them out if you think about buying one. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tommy Drone. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all